Hi, welcome back to my channel. I got a reading here today. It's a collective reading, and it's also going to be an all signs reading at the beginning here. So, starting off with Aries. It seems like you're kind of extra sensitive. Maybe somebody's not coming back to you. Maybe you're not accepting somebody else back. Either way, you're out of balance right now because of this, and it's making you feel very in your own emotions about it. You're definitely in your feelings. Or they are. All right, sorry about that. Let me get another card here. Yeah, nobody likes to be juggled. And if you do like to be juggled, you're confused because it's really messing up your ability to feel balanced. So, yeah, somebody's either got you in a third-party situation or you're in a third-party situation. You're a little bit in over your head on this one, all right, Aries? Maybe rein it back in, kind of get back to square one. Start pouring into yourself for a second before you get too many things going and the whole thing just goes to heck, okay? Your emotional stability is important, and it looks like it's getting a little bit out of hand here with what's going on. It's mostly your environment, but it's for you to take time out and really just get balanced again. All right, moving on to Taurus. Wow, you are setting off a signal, and everybody is now coming towards you. You're getting an emotional, a loving, some sort of communication that is setting off a huge chain reaction, and you are coming out like you are just happy about it. You are looking good. You are on an ambitious mission. It's setting in place a very interesting cascade of events. So I don't know what let me see if I can find out. All right, your message is going to be coming. It's a message of love, and it's basically saying somebody doesn't even want to leave you, or they are they're not leaving you. Basically, you might have felt abandoned or ghosted by this person, and basically it's a message that they don't want it. They never wanted to. If they ever said they didn't like you or love you, they're lying. They want you to know that the new message, that's what it looks like, is that they never stopped loving you, and it's a huge secret in their soul. All right, moving on to Gemini. Gemini, you're getting over your heartbreak. You're starting to see how lucky you are. You're seeing how strong you are. And you're seeing that your strength and your innocence can be compatible, that they go together. That you showing innocence and not showing your strength like, oh, I got a strong arm, I'm going to beat you up. It's more like your strength is coming from it within you to do right by your value system. You're not judging other people, you're judging yourself. And this is helping you get over your heartache. You're really coming out of it. You're coming out more innocent than you ever realized. You were so hard on yourself. And now it's kind of like a change in that cycle. You're not giving other people more leeway than you're giving yourself. Now you're like, okay, if I can forgive this person for all this crap, then I deserve forgiveness too. And I am acceptable, and I am staying in that truth. I'm innocent and I'm strong, and those things are compatible. You don't have to be a jerk to be strong, and you don't have to be weak to be innocent. So there you go. No more heartbreak for you, huh? All right, that's over with. All right, moving on to Cancer. Somebody's rushing to you with a love message. They've been stuck on this for a long time. This is something they feel deep within their soul. They know that you're the one for them. They've decided that after a long contemplation that this is not going to wait any longer, and that they're going to actually tell you. And I don't know what happens after that. Let's find out. Oh no. You might not believe it. You might be thinking about deception and you having trust issues. Yeah, okay. So is it as romantic as it looked at first sight? You're like, nah, I'm not so sure about that. There's some real shady stuff going on with this love offer. Yeah, you've been gone. Where have you been? You say you've just been thinking. Well, the cards show they've been just kind of in contemplation mode. That they've really been, it was like they were just kind of minding their own business. But this card comes up as you not believing it. So let's see. Oh yeah, okay. There's a new start here. This looks like you're going towards it, and if you can let go of this betrayal feeling, there's a really nice start here for you. It's either with work or love or both. It's kind of like the whole package. Happy family. You're on the right path. Once you I guess kind of get over it. You know, it's a new year. Everything that happened last year, let it go. Because it's a whole new year. 2022. All right. It's all about being kind and courteous to ourselves. And doing that, we're going to be able to forgive people. Even if we don't accept them back. It's okay. You don't have to. But the cards do say it is a good start if you do. So, either way, it's a new start. However you go, you don't have to include somebody else for your start to be great, okay? It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be a job either. It could be both. It looks like a whole thing. It's almost like maybe once you get over this betrayal and out of this hangman position, you look at the whole truth, you're actually on the right path. So, how you do it, there's no such thing as right or wrong. There's lessons and there's consequences. And if we don't like the lesson we're learning, there's still consequences, see? So if we can, see the lesson for what it is and then move on to the part that feels much better and stop dwelling in the misery of it all, life gets much better. All right, Cancer. Moving on to Leo. Leo, you're the opposite. You're like taking your passion back. You're just chilling. You don't want to move on to anything new. There's nothing really movement there. It's almost a stuck feeling here. Oh, then I get this card. Oh, yeah. You're trying to get out of this stuckness. You're really looking for your edge. You're like get your word in edgewise here. It seems like you're being over-talked, opinionated, almost like you're kind of falling back in your own life. I feel like it's a good time for you to observe and kind of, if you need to get out of your situation, kind of start making a getaway plan. Take this time as back to the lessons and consequences. Try to figure out what it is you're trying to learn. Why are you stuck here? Why aren't you trying to get out of it? And why are you so happy there? Is it a codependency? Is it a self-worth issue? What is it that lets you accept all of this stagnancy? And it's almost like dehydration. Maybe you're drinking too much. Something like that. Maybe somebody's allowing you to let your demons override you, and that's why you're still like, oh, cool, that's okay, I'm not in a rush. Okay, so there's something to think about there, Leo. This is gonna be a very painful cycle. It's kind of like darker and darker as you stay on this path of stuckness. So I would advise against it. And yeah, everybody has things that they don't like about themselves or whatever, but that's not an excuse to be in misery and let somebody else have power over you and make you feel like you don't have a say in your own life. Everybody has things that, some people, it's all different. Everybody's different on what it is, what they're hiding, what their secrets are, what it is that somebody's accepted about you that other people don't know. That's not a reason for you to be stuck and miserable. Like, everybody deserves to be accepted for who they are. But at the same time, if you're going for divine masculine, divine feminine energy, You're growing, and the goal is to not be stuck, because that's a sign that you're not quite on the right path, because the divine path is very perpetual. It's very much an engaging thing where you're engaging with life, and life is just automatically filling you with the abundance that you get from giving. And you're not feeling that where you're at. So there's something that needs to give, right? All right, Leo. Moving on to Virgo. Wow. You're going to get good messaging. This is business related. You're going to get good news about money. It's going to be very good. It's like going from a very ugly situation to a beautiful situation overnight. It's money in the bank, money in the tank, money everywhere. Everybody's happy here. All right. Yeah, this is definitely a big change. It's almost like you're kind of leaving behind nurturing all of these other things that I've been talking about with these other signs. You're in your own little realm here, okay? This is very business. This is very work. This is deciding maybe not to have a family right now, kind of maybe deciding to just go on your business venture path and really stick to that while you have the time and energy and effort into that, and you're kind of either postponing a family or you're kind of omitting that aspect of your life, and you seem perfectly happy with it, and whatever option you have, maybe you were thinking about having a baby or something, and then you're like, okay, this isn't quite right for me right now, or if you have a partner, you guys are kind of agreeing that to focus on business. Maybe you wanted a child or something and it didn't happen. Divine is saying that this is divinely guided this way, so that you could focus on your empire, and that way if children are in the future, and that is part of the plan, it'll be a very nice place to be born into. Okay, that's what I have for you, Virgo. Moving on to, and if that doesn't resonate for you, Virgo, if you are a nurturer and you already have family and everything like that, what you're doing is you're kind of maybe getting daycare. You're kind of like, okay, I'm ready to move past just that aspect. I'm ready to go towards the gold, the empire. That's what it looks like. And it looks like really good, like a new job, a new adventure. All right, moving on to, was that Virgo or Libra? I did Virgo already, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Libra. We're on Libra now. Oh no. You are very happy where you are at. I don't know. Let's see. You kind of have your defenses up right now, it looks, Libra. You are showing up as convinced that where you're at is fine. You don't need to have a passionate new beginning anywhere, because you're oh no, almost like you're depressed. You like being depressed, is that what it's saying? You think that you're balanced where you're at, but the tarot says it looks like depression. So if you think depression is your balanced spot, you might have major depressive disorder. I'm not a doctor, I'm just kidding, all right? I'm just reading the cards how I see it. Other people might see it differently. Okay, all right, so basically, you might be dealing with a Gemini, but it's showing up that you have, okay, you have a sexless relationship that's fulfilling you anyway. Which is fine, because you get past that certain point in your relationship and it's not just about that passion anymore. But you're okay being balanced there. But what it looks like is, here it is. This is what it is. Oh, I'm good. You're on this trajectory. I'm good. But what really is happening is you're like kind of like lower and lower and lower, and you're about to crash into the ground. But you think you're good. You think you're flying, right? Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that. There's this. definitely a lot of Scorpio here, and it might be Scorpio in your chart, so, or your partner's chart. So there you have that. I don't know. You look content. It's like nobody can tell you otherwise, but the tarot disagrees. They think you're depressed. Well, at least the way I'm reading it, that's what it looks like. Yeah, you're just basically, you're holding off this cycle as long as you can. You want to believe you're flying in the air and there's this nice straight path, but it's like, and you don't want to crash, so you're trying to, you're pulling it up, climbing 17,000 feet. Yeah, but good luck to you, Libra. All right, next, we're on to Scorpio. Scorpio, tell me what we don't know about Scorpio. Oh, no. Scorpio, what happened? You don't know what you want anymore. You changed your mind about something. You thought somebody was your wish fulfillment. You thought somebody was your Queen of Cups. You thought they loved you and that they wanted you and they wanted to be with you, but they pulled the rug out from under you or something. Something changed. Either they're not your wish fulfillment anymore or you're not theirs. Something happened. It's like they saw a side of you they never saw, or you started to see through the other person's games. There's definitely a lot of games happening here, huh? Ooh, that's why. We got an Emperor reverse. This is a piece of work. I don't know who this is, Scorpio. I hope it's not you. But it is somebody who's talking a lot of crap. Somebody who wants control and they can't get control no matter what they're doing. They don't have love to give or a wish in their pocket. They just want control of everything, and it's pretty ugly. So I think what you're doing is you're over here like, here's this beautiful dragonfly. Oh no, this sucks, man, and this is not your wish fulfillment after all. So there's a door that was just slammed in somebody's face. It went from, I thought this was what we were going towards forever, happily ever after, and you were my absolute end-all be-all, and now it's not even available. Somebody changed their mind. May I ask why? Okay, so somebody was a player with a lot of, they were sharing wing, and it's all about wings. So somebody closed the door in their face because somebody wanted more than wing. Okay, wing wasn't somebody's wish fulfillment. It wasn't their emotional fulfillment. This is just a passion. There's no love in wing. But apparently this emperor has a fascination for wang and got confused along the way, and they changed their mind. They're changing their mind. They say, okay, you're right. We need more than just this wang. All right, Scorpio, that's what I have for you. All right, moving on to Sagittarius. There's a tight-knit group that you want to keep together. Maybe they're not as tight-knit as they used to be, but you want to see it come back to where it was. You're seeing how vicious people can be and how the group element can be very detrimental to certain things. So basically, it's like the group is only as good as the weakest link, and there's some major problems with the way this group functions. It might be your family, it might be like your work, but there's certain things that are happening. It's looking like a lot of like triangulation, a lot of like talking behind people's back, a lot of gossip. It looks like specifically like it's like hateful stuff. It's like everybody wants to pile on to one person, and that person trying to get away from the scenario, or they're sick of the way that they're being considered the weakest link, even though they're not. they're just not the same. They're just not the same kind of like link. Like, you know, like one might be the hook. You know, one's the hook. And everybody's mad that, why are you opening and closing? You're the hook. That's your job. They just need to be a chain and then stop worrying about why you're the hook. Okay? Something like that, where the group is trying to argue over whose role is what and whose truth is valid and who sees it the correct way, where it looks like a bunch of jabber jabber laughing hyenas, you know, all just desperate for the carcass. Pretty sad. Okay, so I hope that's not you, Sag. I hope you're not dealing with somebody saying that's you, because I doubt you're that way. Let me get another card on that. Yeah, I want to kind of clear that up there. Oh, okay. So there's like a lot of the conflict being resolved looks like more conflict. I don't know how that works. Hold on. Passion is a big deal, all right? So the passions are high, but the faith is low. And so there's a lot of conflict. Something about that. I hope it's not your family. I feel sad. Okay, let me see what kind of energy it is. Okay. What I was about to move on to. That's crazy. What is after Sagittarius? Are we on Sagittarius even? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're moving on to Capricorn. We still need one more. Hold on. I got a little confused. Where's my cards at? Jeez. All right, moving on to Capricorn. All right. Looking good so far. All right, Capricorn. You're getting over a betrayal and you're becoming the star. You are looking like a little bit like prey, to be honest. But it's an illusion. You're not prey. You're the star. You're working on getting over all of the whatever tower moment you were going through or you've been through. It had to do with you being kind of in your own... You're harder on yourself than you're realizing. Watch yourself talk and see if you're saying mean things about yourself or you're out loud, you're, oh, I suck at this, or something in that realm where it's like, oh, I can't, or something that you're saying. I feel like it's you are self-talking yourself down, and show yourself a little more love. Okay, Capri? That's what it looks like. It's like focus more on loving yourself and don't worry so much about either betraying somebody or being betrayed by somebody, because doesn't matter what people say about you. What matters is who you are, right? So just be who you are and say, okay, say other people say about you, it doesn't matter. What matters is what you say about you, okay? And what I'm seeing is you're saying not nice things about yourself, even though all that does is just shoot yourself in the foot. Like if you have a gun and it's loaded, are you going to shoot yourself in the foot? Is that why you have it? No, you have it to defend yourself in case you need to in those times of desperation, right? So if you're shooting yourself in the foot, this looks like desperation, defending yourself against you. This is like ultimately like your biggest betrayal is betraying yourself. And it's that little tiny self-talk. Oh, I don't like the way this is on me, or I don't like this about myself, or anything like that. You need to cut that out because it's bigger block than you know. You're the star. Nobody is allowed to talk crap about you. Not even you. Especially not you, because it's worse. It's worse. That's the worst kind. All right. Sorry about that, Capri. Yeah, but you know, life is good. Treat yourself good, and it's okay. You deserve it. I don't care what anyone says. You deserve it. All right, moving on. Aqua. What's the Aqua's going through? Okay. Similar. All right. Even though you are wise and mature and established, money-wise and mentality-wise, you're pretty fixed in your viewpoints. You're coming into times where you're not able to really know what you're trying to accomplish. Even though you have all this information, all this knowledge, you're not getting the decisions made that you need to make. And so it's like, here's where everyone come in and say, get out of your head to make these decisions, because the decisions are going to be more obvious to you. The answers are going to be more obvious to you when you're doing more actionable action towards what you're trying to accomplish. So like basically, don't sit there stuck wondering what to do next. Start doing something, and if it feels right, you keep going. And if it doesn't feel right, alter things slowly in small increments to see what does go right. All right. I'm showing a couple here, a perfect couple. King and Queen of Pentacles. They're very stable. They're structured. They're on the same page. And it's weird. It's like you have a choice between somebody who isn't honest and that structured, understanding person. And it might be the same person. Maybe they're having some sort of issues where they don't know what they want. There's a lot of indecisiveness here on your end and on their end, and maybe they're mirroring you. So if you're stuck in your head indecisive, that's what they're doing, because they're mirroring your energy, trying to get in with you, right? And it's kind of weird. It's like both of your truth is depending on the other person, where really what you need is stability and action in a stable direction. Okay? And put your work and your efforts towards your stability, your emotional, mental, physical stability. And you're going to have the perfect match for you. And it's going to be happily ever after. That's what it looks like, right, Aquarius? All right. Moving on to Pisces. Pisces, you're flying high. You're putting in the work. You might be getting over something very despairing or grieving. You might still be grieving, and you might be wondering how to get over this grief. But you're putting your work in the right area. You're starting to see things from a higher perspective. You're using your intuition. You're seeing the bird's eye view. It's a very wise place for you to be. And yeah, so you're just really putting in the work, trying to make sure that you can avoid situations where you don't feel like you're getting what you give. You're avoiding situations that leave you brokenhearted, that are more work than they're worth. You're leaving that behind, Pisces, and it looks smart. No, you might not be able to control everything that you're grieving, and you know that. You see the bigger picture. Sometimes we have to wait for what we want. Sometimes what we want is never going to be there. But what do? We work within the box that we're given, right? And I think you're seeing that it's more to it, more available to you than you've been focusing on. And now that you're realizing that once you let go of what you really thought you wanted, you're starting to get things that are actually more emotionally fulfilling for you. And that's great. All right. Thank you for coming to my reading. I really appreciate it. I want to do a real quick collective reading. And we'll call it a day. So, real quick. This all signs collective, all signs are already done. So now we're going to do the divine feminine, divine masculine. Of course, I dropped a card. Boom. Let's see what we get. All right. Definitely a lot of this going around. All right. Listen, if you're a divine feminine or a divine masculine and you are in on the twin flame journey, you could be in separation. And it might be a case where you're coming together and you're leaving each other and you're coming back together. So if you're on the twin flame journey, this is probably something you're used to. Leaving behind somebody you love for the sake of learning a lesson. Now, are you dealing with the consequences or are you dealing with the fruits of your labor? That's how we know if we're on our divine path. If you're getting the fruits of your labor, then you're on your divine path. If you're getting lessons and more consequences, you're not on your divine path. You are taking a detour around the human world, right? We're supposed to be of the world, right? Oh, part of the world. What is it? What's the saying go? Of the world, but not in it. Something like that. So this is like, how are you dealing with your absolute truth? Do you want a divine counterpart? Do you want a divine life? Do you want to see the fruits of living and being and breathing and being on your divine path, where what you do empowers others and automatically brings abundance into your life? It's not a grasp just out of desperation every day to get through the next day, like in survival mode. That's not the divine path. Don't get me wrong. We go through those things to learn how to compare and contrast to our divine path. Nobody appreciates what's given to them if they don't see how it compares to not having it. See what I mean? See what I did there? Okay, so you go and like, you live this great life, but if you've never felt this, then how do you know that you have what you have? You see, that's kind of where it's coming from. And there's a saying in the Bible that it's like, if you have God and you have that relationship with God, it's not as cool, it's not as empowering as if you go against your divine path and come back to it. And the Bible talks about that a lot in different ways. I don't have any quotes off the top of my head, but I do find it very interesting because it's the kind of the energy I'm feeling is that, like, sometimes we have to do shadow work. Sometimes we need to see what is the free will of a human to do. Like, let's say you love somebody and you have the free will to be like, but I want to try something else. And even though you know, and your intuition is screaming at you, no, don't go that way, don't do that. There's the lesson, the consequence. Yeah, that's it. There's no right or wrong, right? But the consequence might be you lose trust and intimacy with somebody that you really, really wanted to stay with or be with. You just were curious, or you were just bored, or you were just tempted. See what I mean? So if that's not you, it's somebody else. And in the divine world, it's like this. If you want to go off on the love journey, you have to be willing to accept that most relationships, I mean, maybe it's the first relationship you've ever been in and it worked out forever, but this is really rare. It's actually more rare than you find that counterpart, right? And that's it. You never go and never think about anything else. And that's amazing when it does happen. But what this is saying to me is that most relationships that are really, truly thriving and successful are people who've already seen how it doesn't work well. They've already seen what they don't want. They appreciate it on a whole new level because they've seen how much of a gift everything they have is with their partner. They see how effortless it is compared to when it was hard, or you see what I mean? So yeah, that's the message there, collective. I feel like you have some good news coming for you in love and money, and you're embarking on a whole new journey. This looks really good. This is amazing. This is a very noble path. This is a divinely guided path. This isn't a perfect path. This is your path. This is your journey, and it looks good. It looks like love. It looks like triumph. It looks like everything that you didn't want is going away. You've picked it and you've decided, this is what I don't want. This toxicity or this underhandedness, any type of connivingness, any type of holding you down, all of that is a figment of your past, because now you figured out that there are people out here in this world who we think have our best interest at heart, and they know that they can just, by the power of suggestion, keep you from your happiness, keep you from your emotional fulfillment, just by giving you bad advice. And that's actually something that people don't realize. Like, you're going to people for advice that you trust and that you really want to give you good advice. And you know what they do? They intentionally give you bad advice out of their own jealousy. Look at their chart. That's what I do. I don't take any advice from anybody who I don't trust their chart. I look at their chart and say, yeah, this is definitely somebody who is going to be worthy of giving me good advice. Because you can see in the chart, some people are really just that conniving. And it's just the way they are. They're just haters by nature. So yeah, that sucks. But there's more of them than you can count. And I'm sorry, but whoever I'm dealing with, you might be around in a lot of them. So don't take advice from people. Matter of fact, don't tell people your good stuff. And if you tell them your good stuff and they don't celebrate it, they don't care, they're not happy for you, don't take advice from them. That's the best advice I can give you. Don't take criticism from people you won't take advice from. And don't take advice from people who criticize you relentlessly. Those are not your fans. Take advice from your fans, because there's somebody who sees you for you and they love you for you and they want you to excel in life and they want you to succeed in all you do. And I think that that's amazing. Find those people, surround yourself by them, and let's have a big kumbaya bonfire, all right? Yeah. If you're here, you're one of my peeps. Give me a subscribe, a like, a comment, and I'll see you in my next video.